Otherwise, not too bad. I think there's still one high priest down here. At least one confirmed kind of thing. And who knows what else is waiting to come crawling out of the woodwork. I'm willing to start taking a peek around with Auto Explorer, see what some of these shops hold maybe. Scroll of Blinking. I mean, I'll probably just be buying you right away. Same with Scroll of Summoning. That's pretty awesome. Do I have any magic mapping? Oh, I do. I have 3. How about that? Of course, that shop's a mimic. Less than ideal to say the least, but it is what it is. And my priestly pal, if you could just come this way. Perfect. So High Priest is still chilling somewhere in the middle zone here. Oh, there were 2 of you. Oh, and you both saw me. Ah. And there's a question about that. Nicoxex as well. I've failed to account for that in terms of Malmutaters that these priests can spawn. So yes, definitely a factor, to say the least. Okay, is there any way I can cheese this? Unfortunately, they can both stand here and both get smites off, so that's not fantastic. There's just one of you I'd feel okay. Do I have any piercing damage? I have an Ice Blast wand, so that's something. Let's see how that does in one shot here. I mean, not bad. 55 health. I'm guessing it's like a... Is it like 3d18? Let's take a look. I feel like it's somewhere in there. 3d14, so a little bit lower than I suspected, but that's still not bad against the priests. Cobalt Demonologist can't summon Nicoxex if you remember correctly. Interesting. Nicoxex is rough when your best offense is a Falchion. Exactly. No, that was definitely just runaway territory immediately. But here we go, as we're able to blast both these priests off in one fell swoop. That should pretty much clear the way down here for now. In fact, what I might do is quickly drop an exclusion here. Oh, I see, we were blending into this area. So never mind. I was going to try and stay away from that far right where we started and instead just explore this town, but looks like we're pretty close to having explored this town. One more priest, but at least this one is on their lonesome. So let's bring you in for a bit of mano a mano, hand to hand. Not too bad. Though I'm sure that's not the end of it yet. I was already incorrect in maybe assuming that there was only one confirmed priest when we've already seen, what, like 3 or 4 since then, unfortunately. Oh, and is the one still up here? No, that one looks like moved to join us at some point in the past. Well, that's great. The rest of these buddies, we can just lead on a merry chase. We are getting smitten, smote, what have you, by a standard orc priest, but that is a-okay. Nothing to be too worried about. In fact, we'll just quickly murder most of you. We need to wait one turn. Hellwing means that we can run upstairs and wait for you to time out. And there we go. You can keep kind of using the stairs to cheese out the priest here, because of course the summons can't follow us. Less so when I all of a sudden have barbs applied to me like this, but I'm hoping with your health being what it is that you'll die. Perfect. Otherwise, yeah, we were kind of hoping to kind of do some hopping up and down and make it all work. Have we found any better weapons yet, or are we just using it because it's an artifact and artifacts are cool? Haven't really found too much of note yet, especially with kind of the low skill training that we have across the board. Can probably even look up weapon and it will show me a generalized list, right? Yeah, all kind of plain stuff. Nothing too shiny or impressive for me. I am double checking because I wouldn't be surprised if I missed something incredible. But no, I would stick to the Falchion for now. We're not at the point where it's really starting to fall off yet, so I'm not too concerned about that. Especially since the Poison brand, again, just at this stage in the game, is doing absolute wonders for us. I guess an electrical axe is kind of interesting. At least to think about. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. There we go. You once again fell into our trap. Should be able to kill you before your summons can get too many hits off. Though we are, of course, being drained as well while you're at it. But actually, we get enough experience on the kill that it removes our drains, so never mind. All is fair. And all is well that ends well. So being slightly more methodical with my pushes, because I expected another High Priest to come out of here at some point. There you are, friend. And let's instead just lead this merry crew on a bit of a walk. Yeah, the Sixfer is tough because of how fast it moves. Actually, okay, wait, let's check that. Oops, one more time. 15 and 13 extra dams, so we're looking at 28. I should be okay to make it to the stairs. Oh my gosh, not quite. Why so fast, friend? Well, in that case... So yeah, here we can see what happens when things don't turn out well against the High Priest. Summoning even just one fast demon is a little bit much for us, but we can blink up here and make it to this stair. So let's do that now. A little bit tough. Oh, jeez. Of course, there's a smiter. Well, fine. I will heal wounds. And you're going to catch up to us again. Well, now I'm being made to look like a fool. And here I was talking about how we should be able to manage in this fight just fine. Well, let's see. What can we do here? I want to make sure I don't accidentally add an input while legged out. We can still blink once. Then maybe read a teleport and hope that it drops us off somewhere good. Anywhere with a priest means that we're dead. Don't die. We'll try our best, David. We'll try our best. Unfortunately, it was going so well until this one son of a gun showed up. Having no electricity resistance and how fast they move just doesn't quite work out for us. Trying to think of what else we might do even after we get out of the immediate dangers or anything we could do. Could have ice blasted you when we had the chance. That probably would have been the best move. As is, I'm actually trying to remember if I can head upstairs. I always forget where the delays happen, because generally you're getting hit because at the top, but I think enemies get one turn to slam away at us at the bottom here. And this buddy only has a 28% chance to hit us, and they've hit every single one. Right, so, but yeah, just maybe try and go upstairs. That was what I was thinking about, but even one turn, the priest smites us, this buddy kills us. Might be worth a shot, honestly. 28% chance, you just used smite. Talking to the orc priest down there, of course. So you're saying there's a chance, versus if I blink up and teleport, it likely drops me in not much better of a situation. Both of our stairwells are here, so it's not like we have many escapes, or at least not complete escapes. Bless RNG. You know what? That's all we needed. Never didn't have it. Exactly. Never didn't have it. Fantastic stuff. And let's just immediately get into the same fight, only this time let's not give the orc priest time to summon things. Nope. As soon as we see summons, we leave, we wait 100 turns, and we come back down hoping that our priest friend is a bit more reasonable this time around, if you could. And there we go. Okie dokie. So, now we're going to use the stairs to our advantage. Sun Demon, a little bit scary. This is how we almost died the first time trying to fight a priest that got off some summons. Let's see, you just hit for damage though, and you're not next to us, so we definitely have at least one turn, at least 2 turns. Then we take the priest downstairs, so the summons get left up there. And you can see how we're kind of cheesing the system. I don't know what happens to the summons up there. I feel like they might have been gone already. At least with player summons, they're no longer quite as durable. The moment you leave the floor, they're gonna disappear if you left them behind. Wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work the same way for our enemies, but regardless, usually just 1 or 2 stair jukes are enough to deal with most of the relevant summons and leave you in a half-decent spot. Okay, definitely kill the priests. Definitely go upstairs with what's left here. And there we go. So you can see that I am probably burning the candle a little bit close to the wrist there, close to the cuff, but as long as we survive, we can't be too upset about it, and should maybe just be a little bit quicker on jumping on some of these stairs. 2 blinking scrolls. Well, that makes up for our earlier issue, and we didn't even buy the one yet, I believe. Brand weapon scroll definitely gets marked, so that puts us a little bit more on track to potentially switching out the weapon in the relatively near future, depending on what we find. Oftentimes, Orc is a good place to find weapons, not quite as good as Elf, but can at least take a peek. That's actually a very nice piece of armor. Okay, what does this ghost look like? They're red, which is not a good start. Elowry the Nimble, Journeyman Deep Elf Transmuter, and an electrical weapon. What spells do you know, friend? Slow and Petrify. That's actually not too bad. 71 health. And resistant to most things. 5 damage plus your weapon. I feel like I'm not as scared of you as I should be, but I do really like the armor piece in there. So do we have anything special we could potentially use to get past this son of a gun? I'm guessing your willpower is infinite. It's not, so we could actually potentially use the chess piece. Oh, no, ghost is unaffected. Good to know. My apologies. Well, we've let that ghost loose on the world. I claim no responsibility on their actions. Good luck to all the orcs down here, I guess. Where did you go? Okay, you're still there. Please don't shout, Orc Priest. I'm trying to be sneaky. Trying to be full stealth here and just scooch on in real quick. Don't mind me. Excuse me, pardon me. Grab this. I'll grab money while I'm here. What is an Orb of Mayhem? It causes witnesses of the wearer's kills to go into a frenzy, attacking everything nearby with great speed and strength. Interesting. That's a bit of a wild one. Don't think I'll use it on this character, but it does sound kind of silly. And then let's just leave. I guess we could go to this stairwell over here real quick. Make sure we explore the last little bit of orc that's relatively safe. All of you could just come right this way, please. Let's stop that. Just hoping for a bit of a fair fight, friends. There we go. And by fair fight, I of course mean me just bringing you down a couple at a time and completely taking advantage of mechanics that are in the player's favor, but you know, that put aside. Fair fight. Not too shabby here. Thank you for that, Shane Morning. You gotta go. Thank you so much for joining us and for being the voice of reason to just head up the stairs, so I appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you sometime in the future. Have a great rest of your week as well. And that should just about do it for the moment. Let's not risk running into our ghostly pal. Though, there is a blink scroll left behind. So let's run down here, take a quick little jaunt. I will immediately buy that. Probably the summoning scroll as well, just to play it safe. And that should just about do it for now. Just walk away, the most powerful defense. And brave, too. Very brave of us. At least that's what I tell myself. Okie dokie. So I think the majority of our equipment is cursed. I guess this screen is probably the better representation. We still haven't found gloves or boots, which is wild. Let's make sure I didn't miss any of those. Find glove. Oh, right here at this store. Don't mind if I do, that's very cheap. I will definitely just take a nice pair of gloves real quick. Call those curse fodder. Very helpful, very useful for sure. In fact, what is our current thing? Beguiling, which I'm now calling burglaring, and self-hay. I mean, I do love introspection. I will want beguiling if we get manifold assault. I guess conjurations could be useful as well. Hexes can kind of be a lot of utility. Translocations is the main reason. Oh, do you know what? It's a crappy set of gloves. Let's do it. Enchant there. Let's also find boot. No boots so far, so that one is a bit more indicative of our luck so far. And okie dokie. Should also take a moment here to appreciate the names that we've gone on all of these. So we have Gnostic Planets, Altruism of Ashen-Zari, Tethered Skepticism, which is a fantastic title for a philosophical paper or something. Restrained Sorrow, Mantic Omission. Interesting. Eye in the Sky, or Cursed with Me. Very cute. That's our album name. And Feeble is Hex. This is true. We can see where we sit on some of the spells that we picked up. I didn't even notice we got Ignite Poison at some point. How about that? Ensorcelled Hibernation. I guess we might as well learn some of these, right? They're not too high of a failure rate in our current armor set. Wouldn't hurt too much. Enfeeble is a long way off at level 7, but still potentially something to keep an eye out for in the future. One last thing. Let's recall. So the Scale Mail is the Altruism of Ashen-Zari, and it's ranged and something else. Ranged and cunning. Yeah, I can break that, right? Because of course, what we want to swap to is this son of a gun right here. It's just a thing of beauty. So lovely. So with that in mind, let us shatter the chains, because we will never, ever, ever break the chain. What was I doing? There we go. Because if you don't love me now. And there we go. Yes, please. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And now that's a good target to put a really solid curse on someday in the future. We still don't have negative resistance, but I'm kind of torn. And yes, I know I'm torn, but I'm also torn between trying to fight Nurgle at the start of our lair, or we could just head out to the regular dungeon. We at least can see invisible. D10 is where the scary stuff is. So, let's take a peek. This is probably a safe stairwell. And then bring me here. I guess we should maybe check this, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, looking pretty good. And then it's all new territory from here. So let's try out the regular dungeon and see how it is. 2 pips of willpower, enough for Elf? Probably not. You do generally want 3 pips when you're starting to go against more regular banishment enemies. The other main thing, potentially... How to put on Fleetwood Mac, if your parents confirmed. I think you gotta love Fleetwood Mac. It's the good stuff. But the other scary thing about Elf is that a single crystal sphere right now almost one-shots us. So I'll probably hesitate a little bit and go back into a bit more of the kind of regular dungeon expectations for a character of this level, kind of similar to what you were mentioning earlier. Because we were risking it in Orc. As much as I kept trying to lie to myself and all you lovely folks that we were okay and that we were not going to be in trouble whatsoever, we saw how some of those High Priest fights went. So, probably not quite ready to deal with what Elf has in store, especially since They have electrical enemies. Shock serpents are absolutely brutal when you don't have the resistances necessary for them. Gosh darn it. More Tengus, and this one is a conjurer. Why are you doing this to me, game? I don't appreciate this. Lightning bolt hurts real bad. If both lair and dungeon are blocked by scary stuff, then definitely might have to start thinking about it. Exactly. No, that is the right mentality. To always be prepared to call into question what may or may not be safe is not necessarily the only relevant factor for whether you should go there. But for the time being, I'm willing to risk the dungeon for a bit longer here and see how it all goes down. Like, I think just kind of off the cusp, I would assume that I'd feel slightly more comfortable dealing with Nurgle than starting to deal with elves, just because of that lack of willpower. But hopefully we don't have to make that decision now, or may need to go farm the poor cat. Never, not Natasha. How could I? No, if it becomes strictly necessary, we will do what needs to be done. We will commit great evils for the sake of our own continued survival. Because even though I try not to be a terribly evil adventurer as I go through the dungeon here, don't necessarily try to be the best person in the world either. It's all about finding that sweet spot somewhere right in the middle. Hello, my slimy pals. Now that the majority of you are dead, you can just hop in and finish off these bad boys. And we're on the road again. Perfect. Ooh, more slime. This time in a slightly less stealth conducive area, unfortunately. That's something. Natasha does have two extra lives to spare, extra XP. When you put it that way. Screw the morality. We do what must be done. But no, in all seriousness, Natasha, I think, gets to live another few moments at the very least. We'll see. Ouch, you're 64 damage? No, you're the 44. That makes sense. Well, I guess we run. I'm hoping random energy and I can close the door. No? That's cool too. I mean, very unlikely that we get one shot by the slime. Actually, no longer at all possible thanks to the regen on our armor piece. Regeneration is just so good in this game when you're able to just run away, and when in fact, as Colgate mentioned earlier, generally the main strategy is going to be to run away. It's pretty sweet if you can heal up to full in the process of being a little coward. Pretty sweet deal in my opinion. You meant it's more as long as I don't kill her thrice? This is true, this is true. Depends on where I'm placing the morality. Is it on the removal of your existence from this plane, or is it the pain that I cause in order to remove you from this plane of existence? I think I would have to put some more thought into that. Determine where I land, where I sit on the ethical scales of DCSS, as should we all at some point in our life. Very important philosophical rambling to dwell on to make sure that we are morally superior in every way, shape, or form. Wait, do I have any fire resistance? I don't. Whoops. Salamander, you cool to just pretend you saw nothing? I think you should just pretend you saw nothing. Oh, Manticore? Are you shapeshifters? I feel like these are shapeshifters, which would make sense for vault entrance. That is where I often find the greatest concentration of shapeshifters. Wow, Lindworm for the last one. Less fire, please. Would be fantastic if you could be so kind, game. Wolf. Now that I will take. That's a good transformation in my book. Wand of Charming is pretty messed up from an ethical standpoint. Exceptionally so. Yes. You are correct. Especially going by the fact that they specifically changed the convention to make it, or the naming convention, in order to make it slightly less worse, because back when it was, I think, one of enslavement, then that was really messed up. At least charming implies some positive spin to it, even though you should not ever try to take complete and utter control over someone's consciousness and will. Obviously not the best move, not exactly a good guy trait there. I guess good guy has its own connotation. I meant in the protagonist kind of sense. Oh my gosh, more magical mail. I mean, this one not quite as good as what we're wearing, so I'll leave it for now. I'm hoping that Sphinx too, by the way, that we just passed is a shapeshifter, because I don't want that. If brainwash is positive. You could see a situation where it could be, right? Though generally, it's hard to think that it would ever apply when you're first meeting these monsters at runtime, and you make a snap judgment of their character and what they deserve. Again, there are more important factors to potentially take into account, like why do they fight us in the first place? Is it because of the corrupting essence of Zot, in which case, are we relieving them from their own enslavement of sorts against an evil power? Because then, where would you land on that? Yeah, does charming become okay when you're doing it to uncharm someone from a unredeemable standpoint? Or unredeemable entity that is causing it in the first place? The important questions to ask in DCSS, of course. Confirm finally that you are indeed a shapeshifter. Please get out of here. I'm hoping that was the Sphinx we ran into earlier, though there's a potential world where it's not. You know what? This door is where I make my stand. Absolutely fantastic little hallway here for us to quickly run amok through this entire group of horsey boys. Perfect. Oh, finally. Getting to use our cold resistance to good avail. Doesn't that just feel great? Never going below 90 health. Absolutely love to see it. Fantastic work there, squad. And just a single ugly thing, hey? How about that? I'm sorry your friends betrayed you and left you to this miserable existence on your lonesome. Oh, a demonologist is very annoying. Fire Elemental is actually quite bad for us as well. We do have this cold branded thing that will not do nearly enough damage, so scratch that, never mind. Does my sling touch you? Not so much. I don't really want to start chopping heads though. Should have something for Hydras probably in the future. Stop that. Come back here, demonologist. Or die to my poison, that works too. I appreciate the listening skills on display there. Making sure to take our opinion into account, demonologist. I appreciate you. And okie dokie. Cold is beautiful. We do have sling bullets, and in fact, we probably have a decent selection of them now, right? Sorry, let's put this in and then check the quiver. 43? Yeah, we might as well, since we're not using our sling quite as often as we once were. Can see that working out. Let's throw a stone and pop around the corner. Bring you to us instead. Fantastic. Try to avoid some barb situations. Surprise! Fantastic. Pyromancer is kind of rough here. I'm hoping we just poison you enough that you're gonna die on your own. Beautiful, just like that. Again, just so kind to take into account our considerations, what we're asking for. I appreciate it. Wait, that's not a way to the stairs. What am I doing? Whoopsie daisies, let's head to this stair. I can maybe take a skeletal warrior, right? Unfortunately, our poison isn't going to run its course. Guess we don't have too much going for us either. Besides that, let's try it out. Okay, kill the wizard right away. And we can see how this goes. It's a little bit more evenly matched than I would like. If there's a full squadron of those Sons of Guns hanging out around one of the corners here, less than ideal. Well, Hydropal. Oh, and there's another one. So this is exactly the scenario we were just worrying about. Let's maybe not freeze the Hydra, though. Actually, you know what? I don't care which one of you I slow down. As long as it's just one of you that comes up with us. The Hydra's so close to dead, though. I think I gotta try, right? Maybe even just quickly yoss out one of these. Fantastic. Head upstairs and see if this fight goes as well as the first. Okay, we still don't get below tab range. That's nice. Putting a fulminate prism in front of a rolling beetle makes it stop rolling. Ooh, that's a good piece of tech. That used to be why things like Summon Butterfly were really effective, was just for getting in enemies' ways like that. Because it would just create such a huge swarm of the Sons of Guns. But I like that idea, using Fulminate Prism as a body shield of sorts. They'll also deal a little bit of damage in the process, is what I was trying to say before I got distracted by how poorly this fight went. Fortunately, again with regen, I'm just going to be a little bit of a cheeky little son of a gun here. And I'm just going to run away before reinitiating when I'm feeling slightly more comfortable. You're 25 plus your weapon? Is that your damage? 25 plus a +3 mace? You can't one-shot me. Though if I take any damage, I'll probably start running. Just in case. Start running. But we should heal up faster than Bony Boy does, so... Let you step up? Nope. Okay, it goes poorly right away, so never mind. Back on the road. Sometimes usually manages to destroy the prism. Oh yeah, you're definitely not getting full damage on it, but even if it's prematurely exploded, you at least get that smaller explosion radius and slightly reduced damage, so you know, it's something at least. Okay, that weapon change was not worth it, but there we go. We managed to kill this son of a gun. And there's just one more down here. Oh, there you are. Wait, what do you have? Are you throwing darts or javelins at me? Those must be darts, right? I guess I could just read the chat log. Poison darts, indeed, is what it looks like. It's good to know. We have to be slightly more careful against a polearm user here, because we know that we need 2 turns to retreat, unfortunately. And in fact... do I even want to bring you upstairs? Yeah. We'll get a little wild with it. Potentially even just use some flame blasts on you, since not super likely to be using this throughout the rest of our journey. Maybe an ice blast here or there as well. Fantastic stuff. And okay, we managed to kill the skeletal warriors, which is a shock to me, for sure. I expected them to be quite a nightmare situation. Hello, Josephine. Pleasure to see you. That is a lot of negativity. So I'm going to tell you what, Josephine. I stay out of your way and you stay out of mine. How about that? Hope that is an amiable deal for yourself. I would appreciate it greatly. And then if we want to go hand to hand again with a bunch of horsey boys, don't mind if I do. Just a little bit of horseplay here. And take care of all these sons of guns real quick. Make sure I head to the stairs just in case we had to retreat. And then we can regain. We have Beguiling and Alchemy? I don't think so, Ash. I don't think so, friend. Not exactly what we were hoping and dreaming of enchanting our gear with, so we'll have to leave that alone for the time being here. Specifically, since we're enchanting up this incredible scale mail, it's got to be something just perfectly on point. I hate that you're all fire themed. Stop that. Anyone ever tell you that you move too quickly? You cover ground too quickly, my friends. Can you open doors? I don't... Oh, you can. How about that? Sorry, I also diminished your mental capacities while you were just standing there looking at me. For that, I apologize, but I do not take it back. I think you're dumb enough not to know how to open a door. You just happen to have the thumb capabilities to do so. Well, you know what? I'll exclude you for now. I think we can take a Cyclops now. We, in fact, have done so by this stage in the game, but just in case, let's be cautious and careful. How to not die to Nessos? You've lost quite a few runs. That is interesting. I feel like Nessos is one of the low willpower enemies, so if you have evocations, if you have something like a paralysis wand or something like that, that definitely can go decent ways. Similarly, polymorphine gets rid of all the ranged issues. Generally, I found myself pretty lucky with Nessos, gotten them in range, and they don't use their blinking abilities too much, so I feel like I'm slightly spoiled and haven't had to resort to extraneous circumstances too often in my time. But from what I understand, I think those are generally the kind of go-to Nessos counters, largely things that are willpower checks. And otherwise, you really just have to find that perfect little corridor. I mean, if you have a wand of digging, you can also do what I did in Orc, where you do a diagonal and then a perpendicular diagonal. And that way you can just hide in this corner. And as Nessos pops in, always going to be in melee ranged. So that works out as well. If you have a natural formation that achieves that, even better. Go nuts. We're ugly, Torinski, not dumb. Por qué no los dos? Why not both? And perfect, Dr. Pyre, you agree? Palm and Morph Paralyzed, Mirror is good too. Yeah, Mirror is my go-to for any unique. Any unique that gives you trouble in the game. If you have a Phantom Mirror, that's huge bonus points in terms of your chances of overall survivability. But okie dokie, I guess it's about time we head back to this lair, hey? I think we can kill Nergal. At least they have low enough health that even though we don't exactly have the resistances to take care of them, should just be able to rack up the poison and take them down. If all goes well, don't summon too many spectral buddies if you could be so kind. Also, don't heal yourself, that's not cool. Only I'm supposed to do that. And yes, that's fair. Because it's me and I'm the center of this universe, right? As most protagonists are, of course. Does Nessos stop shooting at melee range? I think so, but potentially not. I know some of the ranged uniques have slightly more sinister AI patterns. But at the very least, it saves you the trouble of having to dance, you know, with all the arrows kind of shooting between you and there. So it does something to help, even if it's not exactly the perfect solution, I guess. Okay, Hydra Pal. I guess let's dance, you and I. Don't really want to chop off more heads. 8 heads with 21 AC. Nah, we should be okay. This is the nice part about having to skip lair for so long, is it does allow us to just come back feeling way more defensively capable than we were when we were originally here. 8-headed Hydra probably would have been quite scary when we first showed up to lair, but at this stage in the game, no problems whatsoever. Let's see, do I have any garbage to drop? I do. Always nice when you just have pure crap that you can throw on the ground. You don't have to worry about actually making any hard decisions in life, and instead just get out of here. Also, didn't even notice I picked up an amulet finally. Should almost definitely be wearing that. Whoopsie daisies. Let's drop these. Let's put on Amulet of Reflection, also one of my favorite amulets in the game. So, bit of a win-win there. Take a Wand of Charming, even though we did just discuss the ethical ramifications of using Wand of Charming, and I do feel like I'm against it in general. we'll at least carry it around. You know, maybe we'll lie and tell ourselves that it's so that other people don't pick it up and use it, right? Better for it to be in the hands of someone responsible than the nightmare situation where it gets put into the paws of a baddie. But isn't that what everyone tells themselves? Aren't we all the good heroes in our own stories? If not, then I guess you're the only person who's actually honest with themselves. Though to be fair, I would hope that the majority of us are trending towards good person, maybe somewhere in the middle if we want to be a little pessimistic and realistic, misanthropic about the entirety of the human race.